everyone, and welcome back to Tokyo Tuesdays, the segment in which I head to the Tokyo Disney theme parks to sample and review every last eatery. For our 65th episode, we're headed on expedition. Or to Expedition, actually. Expedition Eats in Tokyo Disney Sea. Starting in the Mediterranean harbor, head straight on in and then veer to your right. Make your way around the main water feature, passing by the Cafe Portofino on your right, and keeping the water feature on your left. You're going to head all the way around, until the entry into Mount Prometheus shows up on your right. Go ahead and turn right to take it, heading all the way through. Once in the caldera, you're going to want to, once again, veer to the right and keep the water feature on your left, passing by the Volcania restaurant on your right. Turn right to exit out of the caldera, making your way through the cave-like passageway before finding yourself outside of the volcano. You should be able to see both the Little Mermaid Lagoon and the Arabian coast from here. Go ahead and turn left as soon as you can to cross over that first bridge into the Mermaid Lagoon. Rather than heading down into the lagoon, skirt past it, continuing to head towards the back of the park. Pass by Flounder's Flying Fish Coaster on your left, and continue following the path around as it turns to the left. Pass by the first bridge on your right that would take you into the Lost River Delta, and continue forward. The next bridge on your right should be a wooden bridge. Turn right and take it across the water. Head down the stairs and immediately pull a U-turn, and right in the shadow of the bridge, you'll find Expedition Eats. Expedition Eats is an interesting location. Half truck, half cabin, but all counter service location. Interestingly, on first glance, you don't really notice that half the truck is a cabin, or that half the cabin is a truck. It blends into itself surprisingly well, given what it is. So today we are at Expedition Eats, which is another location that serves only one food, and in this case, it is hot dogs in a bun. Seems neat, seems handy. Yeah, I don't think do they sell drinks? No, it looks like they only sell this. This is the only thing they sell. So let's try it. I can tell you just from holding it, the bun is kind of hard. I don't know if that's stale or if that's just the type of bread it is. We will find out now. I do not particularly care for this. All right, cross section. Focus. So it's not quite what you would consider a hot dog, if you're coming from an American perspective at least. It is ever so tiny, just the tiniest bit more spicy than that. And then outside of that, it just doesn't quite taste like a hot dog. The bread is not stale, it just has a very hard crust on it. I don't know, I think I'd need like ketchup to sort of drown out the flavor of the actual hot dog. I am not digging this at all. I like the concept. I like, the way that the hot dog is inserted into the bun. I think that's very cool. But the flavor is just not doing anything for me. Nope. Don't care for that at all. All right, so that's about as much of that as I can eat. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next place. I will see you wherever that may be. Bye. And now that we're home, time to review. Service is a 3 out of 5. I have seen very long lines at this location in the past. However, this was my first time actually visiting this location myself, and I experienced no lines whatsoever. I literally walked right up to the counter. No English was spoken at this location, but given their exceedingly limited menu, that really wasn't a problem. I ordered and promptly received my food, exactly as you might expect. 3 out of 5. Atmosphere is a 3 or a 4. I'm not really sure which one I want to go with. It is very well done, I will give them that. There is no angle that you can look at this cart location from and not have something to look at. So they definitely went all out, and they did a good job with what they were doing, so then why isn't it a 4? Well, for one, it doesn't seem to reference any movie that I can think of. I could be wrong, but again, not that I can think of. And 2, it is exceedingly bizarre. The cabin half of it is very cabin-y, for lack of a better word, and the truck half of it is very well done. It's a very nice big monster truck, but then why are they together? I really don't know why, and this strange mashup doesn't seem to have a reason presented for it. And while strange isn't necessarily bad, it's also not necessarily good. So I'm going with a 3 out of 5, but for what it's worth, it's a high 3 out of 5. Price is a 2 out of 5. 500 yen for a single hot dog in a bun, without even any unique or good or any condiments? No thank you. There's honestly no metric that you can measure this food by, except for maybe uniqueness, that would earn this hot dog anything higher than a 2 out of 5 in the price category. And I say maybe uniqueness because anyone who's been lucky enough to try a puka dog knows what this food can, and I would even say should taste like. So, yeah, 2 out of 5. The food is, I'm sorry to say, a 2 out of 5. Now, this is probably mostly up to a personal taste sort of situation, but here's how I break it down. I don't dislike hot dogs. I like hot dogs. I don't eat a lot of hot dogs, but I don't dislike them. I did not like this hot dog. Or sausage, or however you want to quantify it. Now, sometimes a hot dog can be salvaged by a good bun. But again, that was not the case here. The bun was very hard. Now, in some places, hard bread is preferable to soft bread. And if that's your palate, then by all means, go wild. But I personally don't like it. I do want to emphasize that the bread was not stale. It was just hard. Not my preference. On top of all this, or I guess not, as the case may be, there were no condiments available. So, yeah, that's a 2 out of a 5 for me. Sorry. Overall, this gives Expedition Eats an average rating of 2.5 out of 5, which I am definitely not rounding up to a 3, so it stays at 2.5. With a 2.5 out of 5, this ties Expedition Eats with 10 other eateries on the master list. I'm going to slide it in just below the refreshment corner, earning it 55th place on the master list. Meanwhile, on the cart service lineup, it faces a similar series of ties which play out in a similar way, earning it 13th place, just below the Chuck Wagon. Truth be told, I didn't really enjoy the food at the Chuck Wagon or at Expedition Eats. However, if I was going to return to one of them, I'd definitely go back to Expedition Eats before I went back to the Chuck Wagon. So, that's it for this week. Come back next week if you want to find out where I'll be then. Hint! I like to pepper in these episodes so that they pop up with some regularity. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave those down below. We'd love to hear from you. Give this video a big ol' thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you like what we do. We'd surely appreciate it. If social media is more your flavor, you can find us there. Links to that in the description box. And I will see you next week for another Tokyo Tuesday.